Hey guys, today I'm going to explain the new features in the Staffs module, which I haven't announced yet, but version 0.5 has it, and it's also on the wiki, so if you've got that version then you've already got these changes. And I'm also going to be explaining some of the design processes with this new module, which is very exciting. Oh, it took a screenshot. Awesome, I'll save that moment forever. So first of all, I want to talk about why the crafting recipe is what it is. Okay, so first of all, it's quite expensive because you'll see that the attack damage is pretty competitive in terms of a diamond sword. So if I just craft a staff here, we get a shatter staff. Okay, so that's just one attack damage, for example. Okay, so let's just try and get another one. And here's the other cool thing about loot tables is that you can get randomized attack damage, so you actually have an incentive to make better stuff. Okay, so 4.3 is a little bit better. It can get up to 6 attack damage, which is the equivalent of an iron sword. And even better still, because an iron sword has an attack cooldown, these things do not have them. So the reason why I want to make them randomized is because if you want an extraction staff, you're going to have to make a few in order for that to work. It's similar to how enchanting works. If you want Silk Touch on your pickaxe, it's not as simple as putting Silk Touch on it. You actually have to work to make that happen. Same with these staffs. If you want something specific, you're going to have to work or farm for it. So now before I go through the recharging process and all those things, I'm going to explain one by one how each of my staffs work. So first off, we got the Repulsion staff. Now the Repulsion staff does many things. One of the most important things it does though is just very simply damage mobs within a radius. Very high amounts of damage, which is why it's so expensive. Also, it can heal the player. So if I am a little bit damaged here, I can get healed really quickly, which is why there isn't a healing staff. Okay, and also levitation, which is great for moving around. So if I actually give myself an elytra, and it also has resistance as well, so it's great for saving yourselves from falls. So if I have an elytra here, depleting my wand now, here we go. Hey, so it's great for an elytra launching. It's just a fast way of doing it. I mean, there are spirit gems that can levitate you up to that height anyway, which is why the Spider Queen bone, which if you don't know, that's just a way for infinite flight. That's why I haven't implemented that anymore, because the Repulsion staff and the other staffs are pretty good as they are. Okay, the extraction staff is a super quick way of mining stuff. Bam! There we go. So not really much needed to explain this, it just makes mining a whole lot easier. So that's why it doesn't really do anything else in terms of abilities. It's great for terraforming, it's great for mining. I'm not sure what else you'd want, but anyway, this is also why these staffs are randomized, because most people are going to want extraction staffs. Well, it's not going to be that simple. You're going to have to work if you want this baby. Okay, let's move on to the relativity staff. Now this is good if you want to make a very quick escape. Because obviously its ability to to speed you up, but it's also good for killing zombies very quickly. Bam, bam, you're dead. Very simple way of killing zombies. And also it's great for locating caves, since it actually teleports you to a random zombie within 32 blocks. So if you're underground, or heck, even above ground, and if you want to find a cave real quick, well, you can just use your relativity stuff, or maybe your extraction stuff. I don't know, relativity stuffs are a bit better, and just teleport straight to it. Great for if you want to create a mob farm, and if you're looking for unlit caves, or if you're just looking for caves in general. It saves that strip mining experience, because I hate the grind of strip mining, which is why the relativity stuff does what it does. And also, if you're underground and there's a zombie on the surface, then you can be teleported to the surface of the world. You can just move around really quickly. It's quite awesome. Okay, so let's explain the refrigerant staff. So the refrigerant staff seems pretty useless. I mean, it freezes mobs and stuff. Well, for you people who think it's useless, you are forgetting about the mblohr. Okay, this thing people run away screaming from. The mblohr has destroyed so many people. Okay, so now that we have the refrigerant staff, you're gonna see how easy it is to deal with these guys. You guys are gonna be blown away by this. Huh. Got nothing on me. I mean, it's still got really ridiculous thorns, but at least there's an indirect way of killing the mblohr, which is exactly why the mblohr is implemented. It's so it can be another reason for you to use these staffs, which is great. And also these staffs are great for transporting in the nether, as it can freeze lava, so you can walk across the floor without creating very dangerous bridges. as well. So overall pretty useful stuff, and it's also a nice way of making various blocks such as magma and cobblestone, and you know, cobblestone, very useful block, very rare, you know what I'm saying, right? There we go. Orcmead, my favorite. Okay, so that's the basic stuffs out of the way. The shatter staff is just TNT and a wand, TNT that you can manipulate and summon at will. So if you're wondering why it launches the mob in the air, there's two reasons for that. Actually, there's a few reasons. One, it's so the TNT doesn't damage the terrain. Two, it's so it does fall damage to the mob in case it has blast resistance. And three, it's so the mob is put away, repelled, that is. So it's pretty good. It's good for blowing up caves really quickly if need be. And yeah, overall really powerful stuff. That's why it's kind of expensive, but yeah. Okay, infallible stuff. This is mostly a defensive stuff, but basically if you're running really low on health, or if you need to rearrange your inventory, bam, you get 10 seconds of free time, so you can, you know, stuff around with, oh, I need to put my healing potions here, have to put on this kind of armor, and then you're good to go. Only if you can do that within 10 seconds, but hey, you get a few uses out of this, so really hard to kill people if you have an infallible staff. Especially since, well, they have weakness and stuff, so it's not like they can harm you during this state, but it's hard to kill them. Okay, captive staff. Also a really good way of killing the Magras, and also capturing Wisps. So I'm going to demonstrate to you guys how easy it is to capture my mobs and kill them using my staffs. Okay, so this is gonna blow you guys away, but if I have a Magra here, okay, you know, that thing that everyone is super afraid of, okay, come at me, bro. There we go, you're done. Oh, what? A wisp? No problem. You're trapped in a cobblestone box now. That's one of the unique features around this, is that you can trap it, and therefore you can store the mobs as trophies and such. So I am just going to kill that bat now, because we don't want it griefing our world now, do we? Okay, anyway, let's move on. So the time staff. I'm really sick of people using time set in order to make nighttime or daytime come faster. So I added this time staff to discourage that and make them feel like the cheaters that they are. Also, the time staff is good because if you're in a tight situation, bam, not a problem anymore, you're gone. And it also spreads mobs and players within 32 blocks of you. So if I just go down here, oh, I'm trapped down here and need to escape, bam, you're out of there. It's a very good escape wand, but only people who aren't very brave use that for that reason. It's good for just setting the time, you know what I'm saying? Okay, anyway, so let's take a look at the spirit staff. This actually needs another use. I haven't thought of one yet, but it's the replacement for the spirit reader. Now, the reason why I'm replacing the spirit reader is because this just causes less lag, and it gives you another reason to craft staffs, or even find them for that matter. So if I just get one of my attributes here, let's get some bronze fist over here. I plan on changing these, by the way. So throw that on there, use my spirit staff, and it will read exactly what that spirit does, provided that it actually captured one. Okay, let's just try that again. Oi, come on, you can do it. There we go. Spiders poison you, so that's a bad ability. Okay, so you can use the spirit staff for that. Extremely cheap. You get 100 uses out of it before it depletes, and it's also great for making particles. Okay, anyway. Ether staff. Pretty self-explanatory. You can no-clip through the ground, super powerful. You can travel 2,000 blocks in less than 30 seconds if you have one, provided that you don't recharge it anyway. So very powerful stuff, good for getting away. Not really much to it. It's not really a revolutionary concept, but it's super cool. That's why I thought I'd add it. Okay, the harvest staff. Pretty self-explanatory why this is so important. Now, people do ask me, why is it so expensive? Why do you only get 2 uses out of it? Well, the reason is because once you get 1 use out of it, then you get that mob infinitely. So if you have a creeper here, you know, and if I were to capture the spawn egg here, you can just right click a spawner and suddenly you get that mob infinitely, which is why you only get 2 uses. 1 in case you screw up, and 2 to actually get the mob. So that's why you get 2 uses. If there wasn't possibly a way to screw this up, then I would have given you 1, but I thought it'd be a little bit nice to you guys in doing that. Also, mobs like horses and villagers and elder guardians, they will drop different mobs instead. So this villager, to stop you from creating villager spawners, now creates zombie villager spawners instead. And I think that is more fair that way, just so people don't create villager farms. You still have to stick to your breeders, guys. Come on, you gotta innovate. Okay, so saturation stuff. Now, people are complaining, oh, this saturation stuff is just gonna replace crops. Well, no, it's not. Look how expensive it is. It uses like 12% per. So after about half an hour, or about an hour, or maybe 2 hours of use, eventually you're going to have to go back to eating food. But in the meantime, it replaces swords and steaks at the same time. And it's even better because you can use it on the fly. See, look at this saturation bonus that I'm getting just from this. And I think this keeps you full for about 10 minutes or something, which is why you only get about, I don't know, 10 uses out of it. I think it's 9 actually. But anyway, it's a great stuff. Very short-term stuff. Doesn't really work in the long run though, unless you want to spend ages recharging it. Okay, so let's take a look at the mob exclusive staffs. These are replacing the wands. But anyway, we have a Netherite staff, and this is the only item in the game that actually does lightning strikes. Gives you a bit of resistance as well, so the lightning doesn't damage you. And obviously lightning is good for making charged creepers, which we all know creates heads. Which is great. And also lightning does a ton of damage as well. Anyway, we have our mage staff. Now the unique thing about the mage staff is that it has infinite fire aspect. Yes, you heard me right, infinite fire aspect. So you can actually cook your mobs while levitating them as well. So yeah, it levitates the mobs. It's pretty cool. Keeps them at bay. Very, very good for, again, the Magras and the Duskbloods. Not so good against the Wisps, but anyway, pretty good stuff. Skitter staff makes you really, really fast and gives you jump boost for about 10 seconds. And it also has another ability which is just damaging mobs in general. I like this staff for fighting the Wither because you can, you know, get up, punch it in the face, wither it, give it a taste of its own medicine and such. So it is replacing the Spider Queen bone, which I said will no longer give you infinite flight. 2 reasons: 1, epilepsy; 2, lag; and 3, because it took all the fun out of the Tempest box. Seriously, infinite flight, there's a reason why it hasn't been added. Okay, so let's take a look at the blight staff. Alright, so the blight staff has knockback 5. Alright, so knockback 5 is something you can just use a lot. Yeah, it's a knockback 5 staff. I don't know what else to say. I'm just kidding, guys. It gives you a massive amount of strength. Like seriously, if you use this, boom, you're dead, one shot. I mean, it slows you down and everything, but it also gives you resistance and strength. It's a very, very good defensive staff. It's a bit like the infallible staff, except you're not invulnerable. Instead, you are slightly resistant and super, super strong. I mean, just check this out. I use this against the Wither. It's pretty good once it gets into its second state because you can kill these really good. If you're in PvP and you see someone with a blight staff, it's probably a good idea to run. That's why it gives you slowness as well, because, you know, you don't want someone catching up to you with a massive blight staff or anything. So I think the slowness balances it in that sense. Anyway, that's all the staffs explained. Now I want to talk about the different relics. Bright Relic recharges your staff while you're holding it. So the reason for that is so you can use it with your mob farms to recharge the staffs in a very inexpensive but time-consuming way. So there's multiple ways you can do this. The second way is by crafting dark relics using diamonds. So if you want to use diamonds for something, then you can. Very expensive, but you might want to use this from time to time. Maybe you want diamonds in order to create your extraction stuff. I don't know, maybe you're super rich. Many reasons why you'd want to craft a dark relic. Alternatively, now this is the hardest, but the cheapest way, is by getting a dark relics off wisps. If you kill a wisp, then you get 1 to 3 dark relics. Yes, 1 to 3. That's enough to charge 100% plus 50% of a wand. So that's 1.5 wands fully recharged. Okay, because your dark relics, when you actually hold them and right click with them, recharges 50%. Why 50%? Well, just to account for the overpowered stuffs, to be honest. But anyway, if you want to kill a wisp, you have to use the mage's staff now. So the wisps are relatively easy to kill. I mean, they are quite a fight when they're in the caves, but I think the drop is now officially worth it, especially if you want to go hunting for wisps in order to recharge your staff and whatnot, because you can't be bothered using a bright relic. So here we go, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on. Yes, got it. So this time we got 2 bright relics. That's enough to make up for the losses in the major staff and to recharge something else. Now if you're wondering why it can teleport you back, that's just to stop you from going up to it and just spam clicking it to death, because that's not really much of a fight, is it? I mean, and yeah, and it can smash you into walls and things like that, which I think is pretty fun. But anyway, a quick update in terms of other things. I am currently working with my Discord chat to create 80 structures. Yes, you heard me right, 80 structures for just 2 of the dungeons here. Working very, very hard to add as much content as possible, because the problem with Jeb's mansions, nothing against Jeb, but like once you've explored one, you've explored them all. I think by adding 80 unique rooms, then that won't be the case for very long. I mean, obviously if you've explored a couple, then you've explored them all, but it's better than just exploring 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? But anyways guys, thank you all very much for watching this developer commentary on what's going on here. But anyways, I will see you all in the next one. Take care.